Hey everyone, JG Invest here. So today we're going to be addressing NEO. Is it a 2 or 3x stock, or are we in an EV bubble? Um, you know, we're going to address a few things. We're not going to deep dive too much into the financials or go over the numbers. We're going to talk more about the opinion of where we stand with EV and where we see NEO going. We've been talking a lot about NEO in the Discord. We were pretty heavy into it back in January. And we took some profits when it broke that 70 mark. And then when it was sitting around that 64 mark, we just started noticing like there wasn't a lot of momentum going on, and we decided to cash out those profits. We did not predict that we were going to see a drop in NEO like this by any means necessary. Our thought process was, hey, EV's kind of slowing down. Let's take our money from there and put it into other places for the time being, and hopefully we can jump back into NEO. That was the thought process. Luckily, it worked out in our favor because NEO dropped quite a bit, along with XPeng and Tesla and EV as a whole. So we'll go into a little bit, are we in an EV bubble? It feels that way, especially with how much of a decline EV's been experiencing. Do I think, there's going to be a little bit more tit for tat kind of mess between competitors, especially between Tesla and NEO? I think we're already seeing that. China's already made claims that security measures are an issue due to the cameras in Teslas, and they said that Teslas can't be around military sites and things like that. So I think, EV's gonna have a little bit more bad news and battle between the two. These prices are great for NEO. Do I think you have to rush into them or an EV in general right now? No. I think NEO's a great investment along with other EV stocks. I just think it's slowed down right now. And it doesn't mean that it's a bad stock. It just means it's going to take a while before you start seeing good profits again. And I think because it's run up so much before, people just have such high expectations of the stock. But listen, it's got to breathe, it's got to relax, and it will pick up again. So the delisting issue is a big thing that keeps coming up. I don't think it's an issue, but we'll touch up on a few points as to why NEO getting delisted off Nasdaq is a concern. It's not, in our opinion, anyways. Another thing that's come up a lot, obviously, and everyone's talking about is the 5-day closure. Obviously, that's bad. It's not ideal to have a closure. But that being said, I think everyone's forgotten that Tesla also had 2 closures, one of which was pretty long, longer than the 5-day. So, yeah, these things happen. Production sucks. It's going to affect it a little bit. Short sellers are definitely taking advantage of this and pumping it a little bit more. That being said, short sellers will continue to pump out some bad information. NEO has touched down now to that 35, 34 mark, and it's bounced back, and then it's back down again, and it started to recover a little bit. I think we might be pretty close to the bottom. We could see a little bit more of a dip, depending if how long EV is going to take to bounce back up, but I doubt it's going to go too much further down. I just don't think we're going to be seeing huge climbs anytime soon. So in our opinion, we don't really have to rush into it, but we are opening up some positions and taking advantage of these price points. We're just not going super heavy into it because we want to use that money into other stocks right now. Moving forward, EV will take a while to bounce back. Things I'm not a fan about NEO. They just spend way too much money. And I got a couple of points here. These NEO clubhouses, I think in rent alone, it was about $135 million annually that they spend on these clubhouses. I get it's a promotional tool. I get that you're trying to show a little bit more prestige over Tesla to the market, to the Chinese market. I get it, but it's so much money that's going out in rent alone, not even operating fees and things like that. The first round of buyers with the lifetime free charges, it's so much money. And then afterwards, the next round of buyers got 6 charges free a month. It's pretty much lifetime. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money that's going out. The battery swap stations are also extremely expensive to build and to be not producing a lot of money. That being said, they're so expensive because the Chinese real estate is super expensive, rent or buying. So it will be difficult. Moving back to the delisting issue, again, it's not going to happen. And I don't know why people keep bringing it up. I mean, I do know why people keep bringing it up, because short sellers are trying to take advantage of that and scare people into dropping it even lower. But it's not going to happen. BlackRock owns like $2 billion in NEO. And he's an economical advisor for Joe Biden. Like, put that to rest. I would get freaked out about this delisting thing if I see BlackRock dumping shares. I would totally freak out. But until then, forget the delisting. I don't know why people keep bringing it up. It's a non-issue right now. As long as BlackRock is still in it, in my opinion. Going further, we're going to go back into the fact that like NEO did recently get into the European market, which is great. It's a great movement, tapping into another market. NEO, like other EV companies like Tesla and things like that, they're not just a car company. They're software, green energy, blah, blah, blah. We've heard it 1,000 times. It's right now, let's be honest, like the main source of income right now are the vehicles. Yes, the software and everything for autonomous driving and everything shows great potential. There's risks in that in itself. There's a lot of moving parts to autonomous driving, insurance rates, this, that, and the other. It just gets way too messy, and that would probably be a separate video in itself. So we won't go too much into that, but I will talk about autonomous driving, our opinions, the pros and cons, just because there's just so much banked on autonomous driving. That's all you hear. And yeah, it's great, but I think there's a lot of red tape to work around. So we'll go from there. Couple of numbers we'll talk about for NEO. NEO did drop the first 3 months of 2021 target from 20,500 to 19,500 vehicles sold, which doesn't seem like a lot. But with an average price of just under $59,000 per vehicle, it's just under $6 million in sales. It is a decent chunk of coin. So it does make a little bit of a difference. There are a few other factors that have come up. The month over month sales have dropped in February of 2021. There's a lot of factors. A big one that people are bringing up is the Chinese New Year's. A lot of people are on vacation, so on and so forth. I think that plays a factor, but I also think that the EV hype has slowed down, which has slowed down sales a little bit. It's not to say that EV is not great, and I do plan on getting an EV vehicle myself fairly soon. I'm just waiting. For a few upgrades, a few changes, a few other options as far as car models go, improvements, like there's a lot of things going on that you can hold off a little bit longer. I think everyone's realized that, the first round of Tesla buyers, their cars are nothing compared to what the cars are now, and I think a lot of EV will be like that. It's constantly improving software. So month over month sales have dropped. March sales were aimed for about 7,200, but now aiming for about 6,500. My bet is it's probably going to fall short on that with COVID going on and the price targets dropping even further and further. I think they just want to show that their estimate was kind of close to what they're going to produce. The semiconductor issue for the chips is a big one. The CEO even actually mentioned that it might be even a concern for Q2. So they have high hopes that demands will be met, but there is a shortage issue that will come up. I think we're looking more into like Q3, Q4 before we start seeing real ramp up on EV again, and more news. So that being said, closing off, like here, just a couple opinions, a couple of things we threw out. Is NEO a really good investment? Yes. Are we in an EV bubble? It feels that way. Could EV take 6 months to start ramping up again? Yeah, I think so. I think we're probably going to see a little bit of a ramp up and dip, and this will continuously happen, at least for the next little while. And especially if, shortage issues come up again, and EV giants keep butting heads and like throwing dirt in each other's faces. I think things might get a little ugly, and we could see a little bit of a slowdown on the EV, but I do think for long-term investment, it's great as long as you don't mind just leaving the money in there and not worrying about it. I do think right now there's opportunity to swing on NEO. I know some of us in the Discord have done that, and we're going to be doing that this time around. But we're probably not going to hold from here. I think our main bet is we see greater value in taking our money and putting it in other stocks for the time being, because we do believe that EVs slow down a little bit for now. So that being said, will it 2 or 3x? Probably. Will it be soon? Probably not. And that's it. Other than that, guys, again, thank you. Subscribe, and hit the like button. I do read everyone's comments, so please, guys, if there's a stock you want me to check out or something, leave a comment, let me know, and we'll check it out. And join the Discord. Links in the description. We'll post it up here somewhere as well. Okay, guys, thanks. Bye.